Introducing Mr. Money. Send your money instantly. Top up your airtime instantly. Pay your bills instantly. Airtel Money instantly. Send your money instantly. Safety is guaranteed. It don't matter how far it is. It reaches safe and quickly. Pay your water bills immediately. And also pay for DSTV. Or top up airtime real quickly. Send your money instantly. Top up your airtime instantly. Pay your bills instantly. Airtel Money instantly. Hi, I am Mr. Money, and I bring you Airtel Money, the fastest, safest way to send money, pay bills, top up, and more. With Airtel Money, you can do more instantly.
Airtel Money. Simple, secure, instant.
Apple Max. Take it to the max.
Want to just get out of town with your friends and family? Are you having a corporate getaway and have no adequate transport? Then this here is what you need to listen to. A brand new 35-seater Yutong luxury bus is now up for hire at an affordable and negotiable rate. It comes fully equipped with aircon, TV for your relaxation, music soothing your trip, and DVD players to give you variety. Book now by calling 0955 0966 or 977 844 141.
What makes the new Yo-Yo Chipsy so unique? 100% natural ingredients. Nothing artificial. Just a pure experience of freshness. Chipsy potato chips. We know you'll love them.
Hey girl, what's your name? Let me talk to you for just a minute. Where you live and what you like to do?
Apple Max, baby. You need to give me Apple Max, baby.
Okay, I'm just trying to get with someone real cause you look so free. So let's chill, have a drink with a guy like me.
Apple Max, baby. You need to give me Apple Max, baby.
A quality product from Californian Beverages.
Your jungle.
A very warm welcome to our main news broadcast. Presented, my name is Mubanga Chimamba. First, a look at stories making headlines. President Sata delivers a 20-minute speech as he opens Parliament. MMD strongly condemns the banning of journalists to cover Parliament from inside. Rehabilitation works of Chilimbulu Road resume. And in some international news, Scotland voters reject independence. These plus many more stories coming right up. Do stay tuned. detail. President Michael Sata has opened the 4th session of the 11th National Assembly, highlighting only 3 issues of concern. The president, who delivered a 20-minute speech, says government attaches great importance to the agriculture, health and education sectors. Mr. Sata, who skipped most of the pages of his written speech and later cut it short himself and handed it over to the Speaker of the National Assembly, Dr. Patrick Matibini, saying whoever wanted it could get it from the Speaker. Meanwhile, several people in attendance from cross-sections of society have described the event as surprisingly short as expected.
Expectations among Zambians were high ahead of the official opening of the 4th session of the 11th National Assembly by President Michael Sata. But the expectations were dashed as some of the things they anticipated to hear could not be mentioned. This was so because the president could not finish his written speech, as he only flipped through 4 pages and later handed the entire speech to Speaker of the National Assembly, Patrick Matibini, to circulate the speech. The proceedings, which on a normal day take close to 5 hours, only lasted for close to an hour, and the president left Parliament buildings. Also, on a normal day, a 21-gun salute is mounted, but this time around, only less than 10 were ahead. Cameramen and women were given strict rules on how to film the president, as no one was allowed near him. And in addressing Parliament and the people of Zambia, President Sata said government has invested heavily in key sectors of the economy, namely agriculture, school infrastructure and health.
Government has been rehabilitated in constructing training institutions. This effect, 20 training institutions are under construction in Sinanga and in Lusaka and everyone who was in hospital. But this one in Sinanga, we have to teach people also first. We have to say handshake. And when we put in the chancellor here, Mrs. Mina,
for those in attendance, they could only express shock on why the president advisors could bring him to Parliament in his state, as he failed to deliver anything tangible for them to debate on.
Well, nothing much really was talked about Labour. I think the president wanted to have a brief speech, and we shall just react to those things that have been talked about. That's education, health and agriculture. I wish to start with education. We do prioritize education equally as a labor movement. For a country to develop, you need people with skills.
There's nothing to comment on the president's speech as at now, unless we go to the formal text, because we haven't heard anything that you said. So there is no comment.
We're supposed to address issues concerning the youth which are affecting us. Unemployment levels, we didn't touch on that. Look at the issue of the constitution. We don't tap on it, okay? So it brings a lot of things which the speech which was presented was very much boring, because it didn't touch.
He was reading bits and pieces, and I think it was very difficult to follow through, and he ended up abandoning the larger part of the speech that would have spelled out the economic policies, policy positions for his administration.
Failure by President Sata to deliver a full speech has taken Parliament aback, as they now have to study the entire speech to see the content. Only then can they debate effectively. Martha Namanje, Prime TV News, Lusaka.
And several journalists covering the event expressed disappointment at the manner they were treated. Journalists, especially those from the private media, were not allowed near the main building and were marooned at the media center to monitor the proceedings on a monitor placed in the media center. The media center is located far from the main building. The journalists, who are also subjected to strenuous security checks, have complained that it would have been better to cover the event from their offices than being subjected to such conditions.
These are men and women from the Fourth Estate, which is the media. They are on a call of duty to inform the nation on the official opening of the fourth session of the 11th National Assembly by President Michael Sata. These journalists were barred from covering the event at the main parliament building as they were marooned at the media center, making it hard for them to carry out their duties. Only ZNBC and Zanis, including some Post newspaper journalists, were allowed to cover the event from the chamber. The rest could only follow and film the proceedings from a television set at the media center. Even efforts by fellow journalists to reason with the security personnel could not yield any positive response, as I was personally threatened to be locked up for challenging the officers on the strict measures put in place. Security was beefed up at all levels, with every step being closely monitored. For the first time in the history of Zambia, machine guns, which are normally only seen in movies, were equal on display at the event, as if preparing for war. Even police officers themselves became casualties, as one female officer collapsed and was only helped by her colleagues. Realizing that I had captured the moment, I was forcibly made to erase the footage, which a police officer personally did so, as I refused to succumb to their threats. The Media Institute of Southern Africa MISA Zambia chapter and some media houses have threatened to sue government for continuously barring journalists from covering the president. The question is, what were they hiding, or whom were they hiding? Kalan Mchima reporting for Prime TV News in Lusaka.
Meanwhile, the Movement for Multi-Party Democracy MMD says the banning of journalists from covering President Michael Sata has much to do with his health. MMD Secretary General Muhabi Lungu says it is no secret that President Sata's health is not okay, hence the barring of journalists from getting close to him. Mr. Lungu says that President Sata is not democratic, adding that it is sad that journalists had been barred from covering the proceedings from inside Parliament. He adds that this is the first time in the history of Zambia that journalists are being barred from covering the opening of Parliament. Mr. Lungu says the action is an infringement of the freedom of the media and expression, which puts the country at high risk. He says MISA has to be independent and speak out on the matter to end the trend of barring journalists from covering national events.
And I think that it is fair to say that the majority of us are speculating that they do not want scrutiny on the way the president looks, and the way the president walks, and the way the president talks. Clearly because there have been issues of his health being raised by everyone. And I think that we are not children. We have seen the recent pictures where he purported to have gone to campaigns in Mukushi, in Solwezi, and so on. And the way ZNBC was actually manipulating the shots, and we couldn't even hardly see his moving one step. Obviously, as citizens, we have every right to ask, why are they doing this? Sometimes the volume is not there. Sometimes, I mean, that is ridiculous. We're not children. So we can only speculate that they don't want the camera scrutiny. They don't want the scrutiny of the press in terms of really assessing whether the president is well or is unwell.
Several cooperating partners have responded to a request from the governments of Zambia and Zimbabwe to assist with the rehabilitation of Kariba Dam. The rehabilitation works for the project are estimated to be in excess of $280 million US. This is according to a press statement released in Livingstone by Zambezi River Authority Public Relations and Communications Manager Elizabeth Karonga. Ms. Karunga says the EU intends to mobilize $100 million, while the World Bank grouping and the African Development Bank proposes to finance $75 million each. She says the government of Sweden was also considering covering another $30 million, and the balance will be counterpart funds from the Zambezi River Authority. The Patriotic Front has maintained that the recent by-elections were held in free and fair conditions, as opposed to allegations raised by the opposition. Former Patriotic Front Youth Deputy Secretary Benjamin Siwila says it is sad that the opposition have not accepted that people voted for the Patriotic Front. He says people have seen all the developmental projects that the PF have done, hence voting for them. Siwila was reacting to FDD spokesperson Antonio Mwanza's allegations that the Patriotic Front bought votes in Vubwi constituency. Mr. Siwila was speaking in an interview with Prime Television News.
I think those allegations are fake because if you've noticed, PF has embarked on serious developmental projects, both in rural and urban areas. And even Vubwi hasn't been left out for that matter. So previously, as you are aware, Vubwi belonged to the opposition. And the fact that people have voted for PF this time around must send a signal to all these who are still opposing that PF is just doing its work. It's fulfilling what it promised the people of Zambia through the hard work of His Excellency the President Michael Sata, who has embarked on developmental projects, and Vubwi is a beneficiary to that effect. So you expect people definitely to vote for PF because they've seen, and they're actually beneficiaries of those projects. So there was no vote buying whatsoever. I think Antonio must be dead dreaming.
You're watching Prime Television's main news broadcast. We go for our first break, and when we come back, rehabilitation works of Chilimbula Road resume after months of work stoppage, plus many more stories. Do stay tuned.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Mr. Money! Send your money instantly. Top up your airtime instantly. Pay your bills instantly. Airtel Money instantly. Send your money instantly. Safety is guaranteed. It don't matter how far it is. It reaches safe and quickly. Pay your water bills immediately. And also pay for DSTV. Or top up airtime real quickly. Send your money instantly. Top up your airtime instantly. Pay your bills instantly. Airtel Money instantly. Hi, I am Mr. Money, and I bring you Airtel Money, the fastest, safest way to send money, pay bills, top up, and more. With Airtel Money, you can do more instantly.
Airtel Money. Simple, secure, instant.
Girl, what's your name? Let me talk to you for just a minute. Where you live and what you like to do?
Apple Max, baby. You need to give me Apple Max, baby.
Okay, I'm just trying to get with someone real cause you look so free. So let's chill, have a drink with a guy like me.
Apple Max, baby. You need to give me Apple Max, baby.
A quality product from Californian Beverages.
Hey girl, what's your name? Let me talk to you for just a minute. Where you live and what you like to do?
Apple Max, baby. You need to give me Apple Max, baby.
Okay, I'm just trying to get with someone real cause you look so free. So let's chill, have a drink with a guy like
potato chips. We know you'll love them.
We continue with the rest of the news. Rehabilitation works of Chilimbulu Road have resumed months after works stopped. The move to continue with the work have cheered Kabwata residents who believe the work will help reduce traffic congestion. The residents have told Prime Television News that the works will also help reduce illnesses which come as a result of dust from the roads. The residents have, however, asked government and contractors who are working on the road to ensure that works are completed before the onset of the rain season. We have more in the following report.
For some months now, these roads, after they were graded on, they were abandoned with reasons unknown. The people of Kabwata constituency were complaining of unfinished roads in their area, stating that the dust emanating was causing coughs. But their complaints have since come to an end. The contractors are back on site and works are progressing well. Many talked to say they are happy with the development and that before rain season starts, they are hopeful that the roads will be completed.
I've seen that there was a bit of delay. I don't know how, because it has taken a bit long. These guys, they were just coming, they just pour water, they are coming. But this time I've seen that they are very serious, because I've seen that there's a lot of work, the manpower is there. So I congratulate the government. If these guys, they won't stop, then they go ahead, then there'll be development. Because I've seen, especially in the evening, there's a lot of congestion, we cannot pass properly. But once this road is done, I think it will give way and everyone will be happy. We are very much happy that they are embarked with the roads construction. But I'm even doubting whether they will continue, or maybe we are running towards it. It's 1 year left for us to run towards election. So I'm not all that sure, maybe they'll finish or not. But the idea, it's very much nice. We'll be saved.
With the rate at which these roads are being worked on, it is now promising and hopeful to the residents that the works will be completed soon. Gwen Wheeler reporting for Prime TV News in Lusaka.
Copperbelt Police Commissioner Joyce Kasosa has bemoaned the shortage of accommodation for police officers in the area. Ms. Kasosa says this is mainly due to some retired police officers' reluctance to vacate police camp houses after retirement. She says retired police officers often refuse to be repatriated using police vehicles, but instead opt for repatriation after receiving their monies, which takes long, thereby causing a shortage of houses for serving officers. The provincial police commander said this during a meeting with senior police officers at Kitwe Central Police Station in Kitwe yesterday. She adds that families of deceased officers in the camps also tend to take long to vacate the police houses, which she says further worsens the situation. And just now to some business. We now have a look at how the kwacha is trading against other major currencies as compiled by Prime Television's business desk. We're going to go for another break. Join me on the other side as we have some international and sports news. Keep watching.
Apple Max. Take it to the max.
What makes the new Yo-Yo Chipsy so unique? 100% natural ingredients. Nothing artificial. Just a pure experience of freshness. Chipsy potato chips. We know you'll love them.
Thank you so much for staying tuned. And in some international news, 8 bodies, including those of 3 journalists, were found after an attack on a team trying to educate locals on the risks of the Ebola virus in a remote area of southeastern Guinea, a government spokesman has said. Damantang Albert Camara says the 8 bodies were found in a village latrine and three of them had their throats slit. The gruesome discovery came as the World Health Organization, WHO, says more than 700 more Ebola cases had emerged in West Africa in the past week. The UN Health Agency said on Thursday that more than 5,300 people have now contracted the virus, and the latest statistics showed that just under half of these cases were recorded in the last few weeks. And just 3 weeks ago, the number of new cases were around 500 for a 1-week period, and the death toll had also passed 2,600. Scotland's landmark independence referendum has resulted in most voters choosing to keep the 307-year union with England. With all 32 regional electoral centres reporting on Friday, supporters of the United Kingdom won about 55.3% of the vote that worried allies and investors. About 44.7% voted for independence. Alex Salmond, the Scottish First Minister, conceded defeat, saying they knew it was a majority for the No campaign and called on the Scots to accept the result of the vote. Those against independence received a massive boost by strongly taking Edinburgh, the capital, and Aberdeen, the nation's oil centre. The average turnout was 86%, a record high for any Scottish election. And just now we have a roundup of some more international news, courtesy of Al Jazeera.
55% of voters in Scotland have rejected the idea of independence and chosen to stay with the United Kingdom. Scotland's First Minister Alex Salmond accepted defeat but called on the national political parties to deliver on promises of greater powers for Scotland.
I think the process by which we have made our decision as a nation reflects enormous credit upon Scotland. A turnout of 86% is one of the highest in the democratic world for any election or any referendum in history. This has been a triumph for the democratic process and for participation in politics.
The people of Sierra Leone have been told to stay in their homes on the first of a 3-day nationwide shutdown to try to control the Ebola outbreak. A third of the victims of the outbreak in West Africa are from Sierra Leone. Health workers will go from house to identify and hopefully isolate the victims. France has carried out its first airstrikes against targets from the Islamic State in Iraq and the Levant, ISIL. The French President François Hollande says French fighter jets destroyed an arms depot on Friday morning. France is the first ally to join the US-led air campaign against the fighters in Iraq. Security in Yemen's capital is deteriorating rapidly. Fighter planes have been flying over Sana'a for the first time and communications are down. Peace talks between the UN and the Houthis have apparently collapsed. Armed Houthi rebels shelled Yemen's state broadcaster in the capital and took 3 TV stations off air.
And finally, in some sports news, Zambia is in the last-minute dash to win the right to host the 2019 AFCON. Zambia is battling to host the 32nd edition of the Africa Cup of Nations with Algeria, Cameroon, Guinea and Cote d'Ivoire. The five will on Friday each make a 30-minute presentation at the CAF annual general meeting in Addis Ababa before the bids are put to a vote. Zambia is hoping for a second successful AFCON bid since 1988 when they withdrew as hosts due to financial problems. However, Zambia's bid looks like it is losing traction, with news from Addis that CAF affiliates are rallying behind Cameroon's bid as West Africa pushes for priority in hosting a second AFCON after Gabon and Equatorial Guinea's 2012 co-hosting. Meanwhile, CAF will announce the successful bid on Saturday at 18 hours. And that's all we had for you from the news desk. But as we end, a look at the headlines once again. President Sata delivers a 20-minute speech as he opens Parliament. The MMD strongly condemns the banning of journalists to cover Parliament from inside. Rehabilitation works of Chilimbulu Road resume. And in international news, Scotland voters reject independence. For these plus many more programming stories, do check out our website on www.ptvzambia.com. My name is Mubanga Chimambo. Enjoy the rest of the viewing.
Hey girl, what's your name? Let me talk to you for just a minute. Where you live and what you like to do?
Apple Max, baby. You need to give me Apple Max, baby.
Okay, I'm just trying to get with someone real cause you look so free. So let's chill, have a drink with a guy like me.
Apple Max, baby. You need to give me Apple Max, baby.
A quality product from Californian Beverages.
Potato sticks, freaky fries. Get that awesome crunch.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Mr. Money! Send your money instantly. Top up your airtime instantly. Pay your bills instantly. Airtel Money instantly. Send your money instantly. Safety is guaranteed. It don't matter how far it is. It reaches safe and quickly. Pay water bills immediately. And also pay for DSTV. Or top up airtime real quickly. Send your money instantly. Top up your airtime instantly. Pay your bills instantly. Airtel Money instantly. Hi, I am Mr. Money and I bring you Airtel Money, the fastest, safest way to send money, pay bills, top up and more. With Airtel Money, you can do more instantly.
Airtel Money. Simple, secure, instant.
Chakoni chako. Chakoni chako